Well, as you can see, we're on Kelly Drive where I grew up, and of course this parking lot where there's now a Walgreens and In Shape used to be Hammer's Gate, which was a safe place and a refuge for a lot of youth in Stockton years ago when some of us grew up. And so the need to bring back some of those venues is very important. So I used to remember going to Hammer's Gate all the time. I miss it. Good afternoon, everybody. Mayor Anthony Silva here, Mayor of Stockton. And I just want to tell you a little bit about my life and my journey and where I came from when I started out here in Stockton. This triplex is the first place that I ever lived from basically being a baby to 5 years old. We're here on Kelly Drive, and this duplex used to be, a triplex. This used to be a neon green. And if you look down the street, you can kind of see the bridge. And basically, when I lived here, the street ended. And so, as you can see, this was a tough place to live growing up years ago. My mom was a single nurse, and as you can see now, there's definitely some need on Kelly Drive. And so ironically, tomorrow night at Calvary First Assembly of God, I'm going to be doing my first Mayor's Town Hall meeting at the church, and we're going to talk about problems facing the city, and we're going to listen to the residents and hear what you have to say about making Stockton a better place. Okay, we're on Polk Way, and this is the second house I ever lived in, and so we are at the heart of Lincoln Village, and this was one of my great friends. Her name was Becky Painter. Later she got married and became Becky Olson Painter, and she was next door, and there was this big heap of ivy that used to be here, and I don't know why, but I swear that when I was a little kid, Becky and I lost a lot of toys in that ivy, and one day when she finally took the ivy out years later, none of our toys were still there, so it was a disappearing ivy, and that's gone now. And if you can see that I would walk down the street here on Polk Way, and that's where I started my swimming career at the Village Oaks swimming pool. This was a park. It's not much of a big park, but I have a lot of good childhood memories here. So some of my greatest childhood memories that I had were here at the Village Oaks swimming pool, where I was the Village Oaks Stinger, and our swim team competed in the Stockton B-Rec League. And I remember a lot of times my mom was always at work, and so I would come down to the pool at 12 noon, and I would be here a lot of times until 8 o'clock at night. So I remember playing sharks and minnows and water tag, and swimming was a great part of my life. I couldn't swim. When I first joined the swim team, somebody recruited me, and basically I held on to the ledge at the end of the pool, and when the guy would say, "Swimmers, take your mark," and shoot the gun, I would dive off into the water, grab the wall, pull myself all the way down, and touch the wall and say, "I win!" And of course, I never understood why they kept giving me the purple ribbons that said, "Nice try, kid, thanks for coming, participant." And so I realized I had to let go of the wall and actually swim, and to get that blue ribbon that said first place. So a lot of great memories here at this pool. So here we are on Douglas Road. This is another house that I lived in with my family, and as I remember, living here in the older Lincoln Village, it's full of flat top houses. So a lot of times we had a lot of pots and pans collecting water, because the water after it rained would collect on the top of the roof. So as you can see, there's still flat top houses here in Stockton. And actually, this might be sort of funny, but I remember as a kid actually writing a letter to Santa Claus, asking Santa Claus if he could bring us a roof every year. And so I remember my mom would read my letters from Santa Claus, and she would read it and start laughing and say, "Honey, Santa Claus, he doesn't do roofs." And I said, "How do you know, Mom? How do you know what Santa Claus can do? You don't know, you don't believe." And still to this day, I still believe Santa Claus could have brought me a roof. So we're cruising the streets here. We're coming to Village Oaks School, and this is where I went to school from kindergarten through 6th grade, and I have a lot of good memories here. Come on out and we'll check it out. So this is the elementary school playground where I held court playing a lot of tetherball, and I don't think I got in too much trouble at school. I might have gotten a little trouble. I think I got in 1 or 2 fights back in the day. Somebody cheated playing line tag, so I protested. Of course, they didn't listen to me. So basically, I went here kindergarten through 6th grade, and I had a lot of wonderful teachers. I had a lot of great memories. My 5th grade teacher, John Dayok, now has a band, and we rent him out every once in a while. My 6th grade teacher was Leslie Woods. She went on to become the principal here at Village Oaks. So when I went to high school, it was great to come back as a science camp counselor with Village Oaks School when Leslie Woods was the principal. So a lot of great stories and great memories here at Village Oaks. And as of right now, this school is closed. Lincoln Unified School District actually closed this school to save money because it was small, and right now they're just using it for a district facility. So we're just cruising through town now here in Stockton, and we're on Swain Road. And basically, after my mom became an RN, a registered nurse, we could afford a little bit better place to live, and so we moved out to Audrey Lane. So we're gonna go check that out. But I had a lot of good memories of how Stockton was, and so in my head I have a vision of how we can restore Stockton. Obviously, we're gonna advance with technology and over the years, but there's still something in preserving those values that we had years ago in this city, and that's what I want to bring back. So we're here on Audrey Drive now, and so basically when I started high school, we moved here after my mom became an RN and got a good job, and basically we're right around the corner from West Lane and March Lane, and so I rode my bike here basically every day from Audrey Drive to Lincoln High School and then back again. And eventually I got a car my senior year. I saved up some money, and my mom saved up some money, and I got my first car. And of course, I got into a little car wreck, and so I had to ride my bike again after that. But those were some good years in Stockton. So basically my senior year at Lincoln High School, I was playing water polo. I was on the swim team. I was taking about 3 periods of choir. That was my passion, was music. My mom started to get sick my senior year, and she was diagnosed with terminal bone cancer. So it was really hard on me. And basically, right after high school, I went to Delta College, and I continued to swim and play water polo and go to classes there. And my first semester, my mom did pass away. So basically after that, I lived with my grandmother for a while in her apartments on Stratford Circle. And then when I saved up from my job, I got a roommate, David McKeever, who now does McKeever Real Estate in Stockton. And we got our own apartment. So let's go take a look. So we're here on Stratford Circle, and we're around the corner from Robin Hood Drive, and this is the Stratford Circle apartment complex where I spent a lot of time when I was going to Delta College, riding my bike to and from school. And this is where my beloved Grandma June Westcott lives. All my friends call her Grandma June. She was a Cleveland school teacher, and she was a great inspiration in my life, and one of the most beloved persons that I've ever known. And I spent a lot of time here. I remember running away from home a few times when I was a little kid, and each time I ended up here at Grandma June's. So I spent a lot of time here swimming in this swimming pool, and growing up, I think I probably have all the records of swimming here in this pool. And I remember that my roommate, David McKeever, who owns McKeever Real Estate, was my first roommate, and so we put our money together and we rented an apartment up here.
Be able to remember this house, Kaden. You were here when you were a baby.
Well, that's where you lived, Kaden.
I can't remember this one. But the road down there looks cool.
So this is my son, Caden Silva, and he's 9 years old. And basically, this is the house that he was born in. Just kidding. It was right across the way here. And so I rented this home and I was coaching the Franklin High School swimming and water polo teams, and I decided to run for school board. So this was actually the home I lived in when I won my first elected office. I ran for school board against an incumbent, and I got lucky and I won that first race. I became the president of Stockton Unified for a couple years and have a lot of great memories there. So actually I had a lot of fun out here because you see that there's no neighbors. So it's a great place to have parking, and I used to host 2-on-2 basketball championships here. So it'd actually be full of a couple hundred people and a lot of teams. We'd have a scoreboard out here and we'd be having a lot of fun. So I have a lot of good memories from East Stockton. So we're just driving around the corner from the house you just saw on Walker, because at one time, as you can see all the land here, there was a lot of land here, and Stockton Unified, we decided to open a school here. And so this is Wilhelmina Henry School. Wilhelmina Henry was the first African-American school teacher in Stockton Unified, and we're gonna stop by and check out the school real quick. Okay folks, so after I left Walker Street, I decided to look for a place that had a little more of a backyard for my son, and so we moved around the corner from King Elementary School and Fillmore Elementary School, and so we're going to a street called Finland. And I'll be curious to see if my son remembers this house, since he was pretty little when he lived here. So we're here on Finland and Fremont Street, and I spent a couple years here, living here at this house, basically renting it and trying to save up enough money so I could buy my own house. And I had a lot of activities and events here. And actually, Kaden, do you remember living here?
Yeah. It was like baby pool and slides, and I'd like slide down to the baby pool.
Yeah, it was a little teeny baby pool. I couldn't afford a real swimming pool back in the day, so we started out with a baby pool. But he still had fun. Welcome everyone, Mayor Anthony Silva here, and we are live pretty close to Highway 99 in Hammer Lane in the Murata area. And about 5 years ago, I put together enough of my savings and got a loan so I could purchase what would be a great house for myself and my son. And we had a lot of great memories here. And I lived here until I decided to run for the office of mayor for the city of Stockton. So I had to get out of this house and get closer to the city and City Hall. And it's for sale now. So if you want to buy it, let me know. So when I first decided to run for mayor, I didn't have very long to register at the new address. And so I called up one of my friends and he says, hey, I know where you can rent a house real quick. And so I took the house, and I spent a couple months here. It wasn't my favorite place to be. It was kind of tough, and I'll show you and you'll know why. Okay, so when I first decided to run for mayor, this is where I landed, here on Madison Street, right across the street from the school district office. And so I lived here a couple of months, but there was definitely some concerns for myself and my son, and a lot of my signs started to become missing, so I had to get out of here. So I decided to go around the corner to the Waterfront Plaza Hotel, and that's where I've lived until now. Well, some people might wonder where the mayor lives, and in fact I live here at the University Waterfront Plaza Hotel in downtown Stockton. And the room is not very elaborate, as you can see, but this is where the mayor lives. But I am proud of the spectacular view I have when I wake up in the morning. As you can see, the mayor likes to collect waterfalls. So every office I have, or every place I've lived, I've always liked to have a lot of waterfalls. So even in the hotel room, they're not all working right now, but I'm gonna get them working. So we're outside in the courtyard here at the University Plaza Waterfront. And so this is basically a great place to come hang out, to meet folks. And when my son is not playing video games, which he likes to do all the time and be on the computer, he is in this swimming pool or he's using the computer lab.